Varsity Club, welcome back to another classic. Welcome back to week number 2 of Isaiah King Jr. Russell Wilson had a really tough week in that first week, but you know what? They've been working on things in practice, and we'll see how they go in today's episode. Isaiah, Russ versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Josh Jacobs has been killing it. They've got some questions about Derek Carr with a new addition of Devontae Adams. Can our defense stop them enough to let our offense put on more points than we did last week, which was an embarrassment? And look at what Isaiah did last week. 27 attempts, 117 yards, and 1 touchdown. See if he can do it better this week. Now, the Raiders come out and get 3 points pretty much immediately, and so it's up to Isaiah in this offense to see if they can go ahead and get that lead right back. First carry looked absolutely incredible. Russ goes back underneath center. He's going to rely on Isaiah a lot this week to make sure this offense keeps things moving, because last week he was throwing the ball away left and right. Big third down, 2 runs so far for Isaiah. Looking for a third one here. He's got plenty of blocking. Isaiah's out in the open field, makes a little juke move, and he gets it. Strong start. This offensive line looks way better. Isaiah looks significantly more comfortable. We'll see what Russ can do here. He's got a lot of opportunity. Throws one deep, and what looks to be 700 people cover him, and it's incomplete. And I mean, honestly, if Russ is going to be throwing balls into 4 or 5 man coverage, he might as well just be throwing it away, because good Lord, that was terrible. Not a great run for Isaiah, making it 3rd and long. He's going to be a little bit of a passing game here. This ball's going to go to the tight end, who's going to catch it and immediately falls down, and we're going to punt it here. Isaiah has been on punt return duties. We'll see what he can do. The Raiders are deep in their own territory. They punt one. It's a little bit past midfield. Isaiah should have decent blocking here. Looks to break out to the left-hand side, showing the speed. He's trying to get to the edge. They end up wrapping up around the 45-yard line, but a great return. Melvin Gordon comes in the background as well, but you ever really seen Russ settle down and just get those completions we're used to seeing him get? He throws one on the run here. It's a beautiful ball, but instead it goes to the wrong person. The Raiders are going to intercept that one. Isaiah gets hurdled on that one. He tries to make the tackle, and the offensive lineman brings him down, but the Raiders get the ball right back as Rocket Sin pulls that one in. Russ not having a great start to the year. Neither are the Broncos right now. They need Russ to absolutely step it up. Russ back to pass one, throws this one off for a little dump off pass to Gordon. Gordon gets what looks to be about a yard or so, but there is a flag on the play. We're going to ultimately see what that one is, and they're going to say, unfortunately, that one's going to be in the defense. Surprise, but you know what? We'll take roughing the passer. Russ makes a quick adjustment, switches the run to the right-hand side of the play. Isaiah's got some room here, tries to go to the edge, but they are just waiting on him to try to go there. They're forcing him up the run. Still down 10. Russ trying to look to get his passing game going, throws a nice little pass across the middle. The tight end's going to grab that one, runs over 2 defenders, and he makes it 3rd and manageable. Feels unbelievably weird that Russ has completed 3 passes for only 7 yards so far. Isaiah here in the halfback screen. He's going to get that when he's out in the open field. Isaiah with a nice spin move, goes with a juke, throws the guy down, and he's down at the 40-yard line. You love to see it. You get the ball in the hands of a playmaker in the open field, he makes absolutely huge plays happen. Broncos still trying to get their first touchdown of the game. Isaiah up the middle for a meaningless carry. 2nd and 7, going right back to the run. Isaiah looking for a block, and the offensive line is kind of letting him down up the middle. 3rd and 4, the Raiders kind of showing blitz. They back off, ends up being a fake when this is tossed up the top. You've got to be kidding me. That one is no shot of being caught by a Broncos player. And that one is Rocket Sin getting his 2nd interception of the ball game. He's got Russ's number. Russ has had a cataclysmically terrible first half. And can he climb out of that one? I don't know. There's plenty of time left for him to figure it out. But right now, he's just trying to make sure he's on the same page as his receivers, as he does find one across the middle. But even that pass seemed like Courtland Sutton and Russell Wilson really weren't on the same page. I don't know if those guys weren't putting enough time in together in the offseason, but they've got to figure this thing out. Back here to the run game again with 2nd and 7. Isaiah just trying to run away, but there is nowhere to go on a play design at the edge. The halfback screen worked really well the last time. They're going to try to go here again on 3rd and 11. Russ doesn't get rid of it. They called a fumble. This one's going to be picked up by the Raiders. Isaiah's trying to get in there for the tackle. He can't get that one. They're running down the field. Is anyone going to catch up to him? And the answer is no. The Raiders extend their lead, about to be 17-0. This Broncos team is looking for anything positive, especially on offense. They haven't just really been able to get much of anything, and Isaiah finally says, block for me and watch what I can do. Russ has just proven to not really be himself right now. Someone call Sierra and tell this man doesn't get it going. Isaiah back up the middle again. A solid carry, looks to be about 4 or 5. And as much as we want to try to get Isaiah out to the edge, every single time we try to see the King Jr. run out there, it's just been horrible blocking by the offensive line, but another first down. That run puts Isaiah over 51 in the afternoon. The Broncos are leaning pretty heavily on him right now, but obviously the Raiders know they're going to be doing that too. 2nd down coming up. Little misdirection going here. This ball's going to cross, and what an absolute dot this time. We're going to see Patrick catch that one for a big gain. Unfortunately, there's going to be an injury, though. Our tight end is going to be down. We have no idea how long the extent is going to be. Backup tight end comes in the game. We're finally getting close to the red zone here. Another run up the middle, but again, the Raiders are there, but Isaiah pushes 3 defenders forward to still get 3 yards. Back to the run again. Isaiah instead of going to the left, all the way to the right, he cuts up the middle a little bit and gets tripped up. So after a 4-yard run on first down, he gets a little bit there on 2nd down to make it 3rd and 5. Russ brings the guy over to the left-hand side. Isaiah's route brings him out to the left. This ball's a quick little check down, and we get a first down inside the red zone. Let's move it, Broncos. These drives have been slow and methodical, and we're just trying to make sure that Russ does not force the ball down the field, because when he has, it has now worked out in Denver's favor. Isaiah still looking to get in the end zone for the first time today. Had 1 touchdown last week, trying to make that happen again this week. Can't quite get past the defenders. They bring him down around the 6 or 5. So in 3rd and 4, lining up in the I formation, Russ is going to be ready to pass here. Isaiah stays in for the block. Russ rolling out to the right-hand side. Isaiah's open. Russ won't throw. Russ is going to take it all the way in, and you love to see it. However we can get the touchdown to make this game competitive again, we'll take it. Russ goes in, and Broncos are finally on the board. All of a sudden, things are starting to go in Denver's favor. The Raiders, who started off incredibly hot, mostly thanks to Russ's 2 turnovers that he's had this afternoon, are punting the football yet again. Deep in our own territory is Isaiah. Ready to return one. Can't quite get away the way he wants to, and he gets out to about the 20. Denver offense comes back out with about 1.5 minutes left in this game, or the first half of the game. Little pass to Isaiah. Nice spin move, trying to fight for the first down, and he gets just that. Going back to the no huddle. Isaiah rolls out. They go to a second pass to him. Isaiah's going to try to get the first. I believe he does, and he gets out of bounds smartly. They actually say Isaiah stepped out just shy of the first down marker. So 2nd and 1, still plenty of time left. 2 timeouts. Russ is scrambling. Russ does not get rid of it, and Russ is going to take a bad sack. So that makes it 3rd and 11, 42 seconds left. We don't really want to force anything here, but we'd love to get a first down. This ball's thrown deep, and it's off the back of the defender. Cortland Sutton doesn't even see it. Honestly, the first half was a bit of a wild one. We didn't really do super great. The passing game was pretty terrible, for being honest. We just got to find a way to do a little bit better. But look at Isaiah get the running game going. Almost gets a first on that play. And if we can just get Isaiah to break a big run here or there, it'll make the defense sort of load up the box a little bit. And maybe, just maybe, Russ can find a way to get the ball down the field completed. Another first down by Isaiah. Going for a little bit of a run, and yeah, Chandler Jones was all over that one. Now, while Chandler Jones had a big play there, it looks like Max Crosby actually went out with an injury, so we'll see what his timetable is, but it's not looking good for the Raiders. Another pass to Isaiah, and yeah, Chandler Jones is all over it. 3rd and long, it's a massive uphill battle. Chandler Jones is absolutely in the zone and wreaking havoc off that edge. He's coming in for a blitz. This ball goes to the middle, and Russ completely misthrows it. That was going to be another interception, his 3rd of the afternoon, this time going to Hobbs. The only good news that comes out of that is the Raiders only get 3 points off that drive. Again, we gave them prime field position. They couldn't really get what they needed, and we are going to start a long drive, hoping to get this game back within a touchdown. 4 yards there for Isaiah. He's going right back to it again. Nice run up the middle, and he's just shy of the first down marker. It really has been a rough afternoon on the ground. I mean, he's got 22 attempts, about 77 yards. You'd hope to see more, but it's just been few and far between for the good blocks that he's had. Isaiah didn't plan to come to Denver just to see Russell Wilson throw the ball away to the defense multiple times a game. He's trying to see if he can maybe get a guy to just help him a little bit. And there's honestly still time for Russ to turn it around. He's just got to figure out ways to not throw it to the defense. Pressure's getting a little bit too much to him. Doesn't really know what he's doing. He's got an opportunity to run that when he throws it instead, and it's just an errant pass out of bounds. Big play in 3rd and 5. Can we finally get a first down in what feels like forever? Isaiah's wide open. He's got him in front. He's going to break that first tackle to make sure he gets enough yards for that first. It has taken us all the way until the 3rd quarter to have Russell Wilson over 100 yards passing. It's just unacceptable. You don't expect to see that happen. Raiders loading up the box a little bit. It's a little bit of a fake blitz. Russ, plenty of time, throws one, and it's going to go out of bounds. So big 3rd down and 5 again. We're down 13. A field goal is possible from right here, but we'd love to have a touchdown instead in this drive. And Russ is going to not let that happen. Doesn't get rid of the ball. We get an injury to the offensive line, which makes matters even worse now. The defense does do his job, as does the special teams before that, and we end up cutting this lead from 20-7 to 20-9. It's not exactly ideal, but it's better than where we were. Isaiah King Jr. has been fighting for yards in between the tackles all game long. The outside has just not really been there. The Raiders are saying if you want to run, you've got to go up the middle, and even that is tough. That was his 27th carry of the game, and it gives him 100 yards even on the afternoon. Going right back to him here and telling the Raiders, if you want to stop this team, you got to stop Isaiah, because we're going to get back in that end zone somehow, some way. A lot of people in the box for the Raiders. Again, they're keen on that run a little bit. A pass that is going to be errant by Russell Wilson yet again is nowhere close. 3rd down to 5. This is a pivotal one here. We need to put a little bit of pressure on the Raiders. This ball's thrown, and it's nearly caught by the Raiders defender again. Our defense has honestly done its job so many times today. They've only given up 300 yards. We've had 3 interceptions that have really hurt us so much today, and we're struggling. The Raiders obviously score in their last possession to make matters even worse. I mean, you could even see the players in the sidelines sort of talking about Russ, saying, like, what's wrong with this dude? He's supposed to come here and lead us to a championship. We got this great defense, but what is Russell Wilson doing, as we ask ourselves that again on this play? 3rd and 14, things are looking even worse for Denver right now. This is not what Isaiah signed up for. He came here to be, potentially up for a championship, and Russ is just throwing his 4th interception of the afternoon. Someone get Russell Wilson out of this game. What is going on? Russ has officially thrown 7 interceptions between the first 2 games of the regular season, and this game isn't even over. He throws another one out of bounds, and luckily, no one's going to catch that this time. 30-9 to start of this fourth quarter. It's less than ideal. Isaiah's trying to make sure that his team can get right back into it, but it's going to be a tough one. Denver also just lost another player on the offensive line. This has just been a nightmare for them left and right. Go back to the screen game. Can Russ get rid of it in time? He absolutely does. Finally, Isaiah just trying to get something here, and he breaks one tackle, but he ends up getting brought down, but still, it's a great game. I think the scariest part of this game for us right now is that our offensive game plan has to rely on not Isaiah, but on Russell Wilson getting this job done. A pass across the middle was caught and then immediately dropped, but there is going to be a flag on the play. We'll see what that ultimately is here. That one's going to be an illegal block in the back on the offense, and they called on Isaiah King, which excuse us, a rare mistake by Isaiah, but he was honestly nowhere even close to that play, so I don't really know how they could call that on him, but it is what it is. Russ goes down for what feels like the zillion time today. Chandler Jones gets his second sack of the ball game. 2nd and 28, something you don't really expect to see. The halfback screen, so that has been working a ton, so they go right back to it. Isaiah making people miss left and right. He gets something that looks like almost close to the first and marker. They're going to call a flag, which looks like it might be a face mask. And it is just that. So we're going to go ahead and accept that penalty because that's going to be huge to get us down to the 37. Even if we're not going to win this game, we just need to see some sign of positivity through the passing game. Or just Russ not running around like a crazy person getting sacked left and right. And this time Chandler Jones gets down, probably because he's been sacking Russell Wilson too many times. They've had Crosby out. They lose Chandler Jones as well. We've lost multiple guys on the offensive line. This has been a tough game for everyone. And Russ throws it to an Isaiah King Jr. who's literally laying on the ground. 3rd and 19. Russ going to the only target he's been able to really complete it to multiple times today. That's Isaiah, who picks up a gain, and he's only to 160 yards in the fourth quarter. Russ is having a terrible afternoon. Down huge, 4th and 8. Coach knows we have to go for it here. This ball's thrown immediately, and it is Russell Wilson's 5th interception of the ball game. It's nowhere close. It shouldn't have been thrown. And we're suffering because of Russ's incompetence. AJ Cole, the Raiders, locked up here to punt another one. 4th and 15 for the Raiders. Again, their offense has not really been great. It's the interceptions we've thrown that have given them great field position time and time again. I think this punt return is going to come back despite how good it could have potentially been. It looks like there might have been a little bit of a hold in that play. We'll see what the ref has to say. Just like we said, Kareem Jackson hurts us again. With 10 minutes left in this game, we're just trying to hold on for any sort of hope. And the hope that Russell Wilson won't get sacked again is terrible. Jones now has his 4th of the game. The offensive line is obviously down tremendous right now. Jones has been just in his bag all afternoon. We're hoping that Russ can just do anything at all. And on 3rd and 24, they're going to call a halfback draw because at this point, you just don't want Russ throwing another interception. This man is going to approach double-digit interceptions in the first 2 games of the season. That's going to be an NFL record. So how bad Russ has been, we're going to rely on the run a little bit. The goal is to just try to get Isaiah King Jr. in the end zone. He's not really been in there today, but with the way the offensive line is depleted and blocking, it may not happen. Trying to get out to the edge hasn't really worked today. They go for it again. Still not really working as there's not much room for Isaiah to run, but he does get a positive gain out of it. 3rd and 5 coming up. Russ goes to the only player he really trusts right now or can complete it to, and it's Isaiah, but it was a horrible decision. The first 2 games of Isaiah King Jr.'s career have been not great. He's been a pretty good performer, but what this team has been able to do has been terrible. A single-digit offensive scoring output, and Isaiah says, I don't want no cameras right now. I've seen enough. Recapping the stats today, Derek Carr was fantastic. 247 through the air, 3 touchdowns. Russell Wilson had 16 of 29 for 162 yards and 5 interceptions. It's just inexcusable how bad he's playing. We see Isaiah, 32 attempts, an insane amount for 113 yards, but only averaging 3.5 yards per carry. Isn't exactly ideal. He still had better yards than what Josh Jacobs did, but less yards per carry. On the receiving side, he had 10 receptions today for 106 yards. That is 106 of the 160 whatever that Russell Wilson threw, which is terrible. You see Brian Evers go for 120. Devontae Adams, we held to 554, but he still gets a touchdown. Our best receiver was Albert Okwekabonum, who ends up getting 6 yards in his 2 receptions. Cortland Sutton at 2 for 26. This team has to go back to the drawing board to figure things out because offensively, they are just terrible. But realistically, it all goes back to Russ. Can Russ figure things out in the next episode, or will he be a guy that is either benched or cut or traded somewhere else for pennies in the dollar in hopes we can find somebody else to be the quarterback of this team? Because the way things are going right now, Russell Wilson might not be that guy. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. Catch you guys on the next one.